In this video, we're just going over a homework problem that one of your classmates asked me about. This is problem 4.2.19. So it's not the 19th problem in the 4.2 homework set, but this is the item ID number, the problem ID number in my math lab. So actually these total columns were not given to us. So they tell us that we're dealing with 4 fast food restaurants labeled restaurant A, B, C, and D, and they've collected data. These are the number of accurate orders from each of the restaurants, and these are the number of inaccurate orders from each of the restaurants. And the question says, if you're going to choose 3 orders out of all of these orders, what's the probability that all 3 of those orders are from restaurant C? Now before I started doing any of this down here, let's just focus on the top part. Sorry, there's math from all kinds of classes on here. Let's focus on just the top. Before I started doing any of those calculations to find the probability that all 3 are from restaurant C, I wanted to get some totals. I wanted to know how many total orders we had here. The easiest way to do that is to just total in all of the rows and all of the columns. So the number of accurate orders that we have are this many plus this many plus this many plus this many. I use my calculator for the arithmetic so I don't make any little errors in my head, and I get 996. And the total of inaccurate orders are this many plus this many plus this many plus this many, and that turns out to be 134. Now if I add up all of the accurate orders and the inaccurate orders, I should get the total number of orders. So that's 1,130. Now again, there's lots of room to make little arithmetic mistakes, so you want to have some way of checking yourself to see if you got the right answer. So instead of totaling up all of the accurate orders and inaccurate orders and adding them together, I'd like to total up now the number of orders I have from restaurant A, B, C, and D. So if I take all the accurate and inaccurate orders from restaurant A and add those together, I get 362 of those. If I add the accurate and inaccurate orders from restaurant B together, I get 333, and so on. And so when I add all of these together, I've got this many orders from restaurant A, this many from B, this many from C, and this many from D. If I add all 4 of these together, I better get that same number. I better get 1,130 orders. And when I check, that's exactly what I get. I have 362 plus 333 plus 275 plus 160, and good. When I add up the total orders from the restaurants, I get the same as the total number of orders that are accurate plus those that are inaccurate. Okay, so now let's go back to our question. The question says, what's the probability that all 3 orders that we chose, out of all of those orders, out of all 1,130 of them, what's the probability that all 3 are from restaurant C? Well, it's actually pretty easy. It's just going to be the probability that the first order is from restaurant C times the probability that the second order is from restaurant C times the probability that the third order is from restaurant C. Now the probability that the first order is from restaurant C is just the total number of orders from restaurant C, which is this 275 here, divided by that 1130. So we're here. Now the probability that the second order is from restaurant C, well, I've already gotten rid of one of these. There are only 274 orders from restaurant C left. And out of the total number of orders, there are only 1,129 left. So the probability that the second order is from restaurant C is not 275 out of 1130, it's 274 out of 1129. So we have got this. And the same thing happens when you're looking at the probability that the third order is from restaurant C. I've already taken 2 of these orders, so there are only 273 left. And I've taken 2 of these orders away, so there are only 1,128 left. So it's 273 out of that 1128. Now, if you put this in your calculator and multiply, this is what you get. I went out to 5 decimal places because we were told to round to 4 decimal places. I see that 9 is greater than or equal to 5, so I'm going to round up and this is my answer. So the probability that all three restaurants, or all three orders are from restaurant C is this probability. So it's a probability of about 1.43%.